Good evening, TDN listeners and viewers. Good evening to you, viewers of This Week in Interview. Welcome to another episode of This Week in Interview. We're having a very, very exciting conversation on tap for you tonight. As usual, what we do is to bring you contemporary topics. We discuss them from a different angle, a different perspective, not necessarily what you would find by just clicking your mouse or your remote. We try to bring you it from a deeper perspective. And tonight is no exception. I am super, super excited to have triple jump superstar Thea Lafond-Gadson. She's going to be my guest tonight. As you know, she has just accomplished a new national record, and she's already qualified. She's the first Dominican to qualify for the 2024 Olympics. And so we're super, super excited when she said that. Yes, it's possible to come on the show. I am so honored and I am so pleased. So grab your drink, share the like, invite somebody to join us, and come right back. And we're going to start this conversation with Miss Thea Lafond-Gadson. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I hope that was enough time for you to grab your favorite beverage. But as I said, if you did not join us right at the start, tonight on tap we have a very exciting conversation with a superstar from Dominica. Now you know Dominica is a small country. If you feel like you know everybody in Dominica, it's not the case because we're bigger than that, but it feels like you know most people. And if you don't know the particular person, you might know family. So, for example, I happen to know the parents of my guest really well. But tonight is about her. My guest tonight is Miss Thea Lafond-Gadson. Here you go, a brilliant smile. Um, you know, as I was saying, the reason why you're here with me tonight at this moment is because you just had a tremendous accomplishment at the World Games. At the World Games, you qualified as the first Dominican for the 2024 Olympics, and we've been following you. We saw last year you knocked on the door really hard, and today this year you actually I want to say kicking it open, busting it open, and claiming your space. So welcome. It's such a pleasure to be having this conversation with you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. And thank you to the Dominican people that have been cheering me on since day one with Team Dominica. And yeah, we're going to the Olympics. We're doing
Going
it.
to the Olympics. Yes, yes, yes. And you know, the Dominicans have been cheering you on because you've been making us so proud. You
Thank
know,
you.
we feel like you're our daughter or sister or niece. That's just going out there and just accomplishing and just striving. And every year you take your level up, as they say. Every year you go to the next level. So first of all, I want to say congratulations on your accomplishment. It's good to see you go. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right. And so let's talk about, because I haven't been following sports for a little while.
Okay.
So you are the athletes. Let's talk about exactly what it is. Let's put it in the jargon. What exactly it is that you've achieved, break it down, and what's coming up.
Mm. Okay. So what have I achieved? Most recently,
Mm-hmm.
I finished fifth at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. I jumped 1490, and that is not only an Olympic qualifier, it is, I think, I think it's the ninth best national record in the world right now,
Wow.
which is pretty cool in itself. And it was quite a battle. It ended up being the hardest triple jump final in the history of the sport. And it, honestly, it was truly an amazing fight. But I qualified for the Olympics actually in the qualifying round for Budapest. So 2 days before finals, I jumped to 1462, and that was a PB. And then the first jump in finals, I jumped to 1471, another PB, another national record. And then the fifth jump was 1490, another PB, and another national record. So we got three PBs in just about 2.5 days, which is
So
quite the
for
accomplishment.
people like me who may not necessarily know what PB, I guess because PB means personal best, right?
Personal best, yes.
Personal best. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got, let's say, three in 2 days?
2.5, yeah, 2 days.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm wishing you the best of health. You can
Thank you.
continue that string of PBs, right? And
Yeah,
going into 2024. Going into
thank you so
2024.
much.
Wow. And so you qualified, and you said that your qualification jump
Mhm.
is the ninth, well, no, the national record that you set for Dominica
Yeah,
places Dominica ninth
yeah,
in the row of national records.
yes,
So there are just 8 countries that
yeah.
have national records that are longer than your jump.
Hmm.
Wow. What an accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm saying it slow because I really want us to pause and let it sink in.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it because even sometimes, it's very easy to get just caught up with oh, what's next and what am I doing? And very seldomly do I actually take a time to reflect on the accomplishment that is at hand.
No,
So,
certainly. Tremendous accomplishment. And I know when you're in that mode, I'm not, well, I can imagine that when you're in that mode, you're about striving. Okay. All right. So this was good, but we have the next
yeah, it's
mountain
always
to
what's
climb.
next.
Right?
Got to jump
What's next?
farther.
What's next? What's next?
Got to jump
So, so,
farther.
so speaking about that, and for World Youth Day, I had Coach Cedric Harris as my guest,
Mm, mm,
and we were talking about the role of athletics and sports and wellness and training in the
mm,
life of a young person and the
mm,
impact that it has on your overall well-being.
mm,
And so we spoke about the rigor that's involved.
yeah.
I want you to just run us through as brief, what it is like. What does it take to get to that level of accomplishment?
Mm. Um, I would say that it takes a lot of getting knocked down and standing back up again, for sure.
Mm,
I think that mentality to continue to strive for excellence is something that
mhm,
people often overlook. Um, we always want to say hard work and perseverance, and that is there too for sure, but that's like your bare minimum for
mhm.
success. It takes discipline, definitely. I wake up, I get going. The first thing I do is get in the weight room, and then I eat.
Wow.
After I wake up, I lift, then I eat. Later that evening, I have another workout on the track. Um, especially to compete at the world level, my dietary guidelines are pretty strict right now. I think in the last 6 weeks, I maybe had over 50 salads, about 50 portions of grilled chicken and such. Um, but it also takes a team, behind you to support you emotionally, physically, even financially. I mean, I have, my coach who's also my husband, who from day one, even when we met as just coach athlete, was very, very determined to make sure that what we were doing was going to lead to success. But I also had, my family, my best friend's family, um, that was always behind me. Sometimes I just need someone to talk to. Sometimes I just need someone to vent to. And having people that just have your back is so important. It really takes a village. It really, really does. Um, but it also takes, the ability to focus on your sport. It's actually quite a privilege to be able to fully focus on triple jump and to compete at the professional level. The DOC really helped back me financially to be able to actually stop teaching. So I was a teacher up
Okay.
to about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And so I was waking up, going to the weight room around 5:30 a.m., and I was in my classroom before 7.
Mm.
And then I would teach
Wow.
I used to teach a full day, and then afterwards I would drive to the track and do my track workout. And so you're talking these long, long days, long, short nights. It would feel like sleep was just going like that. And then you'd wake up all over and do it again. And I think that, it's that want for success, the want to, see Dominica's flag, flying high one day on a podium. That's what kind of keeps you going. And it is nothing short of discipline. Just waking up and doing, even on the days that you don't feel great. We have this kind of saying between Aaron and I, my coach and husband, that, no one cares. No one cares about the excuses. No one cares about what happened yesterday. No one cares about the personal situations you're going through. It's your job to, put yourself in places of success. It's your job to seek out help when you need it and admit that you need help. And we want a very, very zero excuse, elite performance situation on our hands. And a lot that we've done has ensured that that's what we're getting.
Elite, the word elite stuck out to me because it means that your aspirations have to be high enough. It,
Absolutely.
it's not just to be like a good triple jumper in the circle where you are on a Dominican setting or even on a Caribbean setting.
Mm.
The word elite um, puts it at a different level, at least in my mind. So what is that like? Setting that goal, even when it seems like that goal is so far away, and then striving towards it. And as you said, when you get knocked down, to stand
Mm.
back up again.
Yeah.
Um, what is that like? Avoiding that discouragement that would probably make you, stay away from it for too long, and to continue to to keep your eyes on that price, and to set the standard that not only you think of yourself as an elite in your mind, but you demonstrate to the world that you are in fact an elite athlete.
Mm.
Let's talk about that mental part of it, because I'm really wanting to our conversation to really inspire these young people who we have in Dominica, because Dominica has quite a few very promising young athletes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about that mental side and setting
Mm.
that high aspiration and striving for it.
Well, I think that the first thing, is goal setting.
Mhm.
I suggest that you write down on paper what you want your goal to be. And then if that's your main goal, write down the stepping stones to getting to that goal. Because it's very
Mhm.
difficult to go from jumping, say, 14 meters to 15 meters. But if I chip it down into, well, first I want to jump 1420, then 1440, then 1460, 1480. At 1480, 15 meters is not that far from that. And so
Right.
actually quantifying your goals into smaller achievable sections just makes the task seem less daunting in general. Now, we know that when you set a goal, everything is not going to go smoothly. You will have your ups and downs, you will have your setbacks. But the truth of the matter is that in my mentality is that I can't give up because I put in way too much work to stop now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's like, and one of my main goals is to jump over 15 meters. And at Worlds, that didn't happen. And so I was actually like quite disappointed. I was happy that, I had a new PB, but my aim was 15. And I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. I definitely was upset. I think a lot of people actually messaged me saying they saw the frustration on my face when I gave my farewell to the stadium. But I think it'd be ridiculous for me to give up now when I'm only 10 centimeters away.
Yeah. 10 centimeters.
Mhm. Like,
Right there.
how ridiculous would it be for me to hang up my spikes and say I'm done when my goal is this much away?
You can touch it. You can touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think that's how you have to look at it, is that you don't need to make massive gains in a short period of time. You need to be able to constantly set up just achievable goals and work at them. and be honest with yourself too. Like, hey, I have these goals. Am I willing to do what it takes to achieve them? Am I willing to come home and get better rest while my friends are hanging out? Am I willing to not drink as much or not drink alcohol for the next few months to make sure I have the proper recovery? Am I willing to cut down on the sweets and increase the fruits, you know? And it's little things here and there, but they add up. And all these little, almost insignificant sounding actions actually compose a much greater and elite athlete. You know, elite athletes to me have a mentality that I guess others would call discipline, but for them, it's their default. You know, like for some, it might be like, oh, that's too much or that's too much sacrifice. And I think an elite athlete looks at it as like that, it just has to be done. If I
Yeah,
want success, it just has to be done. There's no going back and forth and, you know, being upset about not being able to partake or not being able to have X, Y, and Z. Because at the end of the day, if you don't achieve your goals, then the only person to blame is you.
right, right.
So I'm not
There's
going
so
to
much
help
to
myself
unpack
back.
there. There's so much to unpack there, Thea, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy the way that you're breaking it down.
Hmm.
Because I asked you about the aspirational goal of
Hmm.
being elite athlete,
Yeah.
and you said as a young athlete you have to write it down,
Hmm.
and so you have to write down. First of all, you have to know what it is. So you have to know,
Hmm.
okay, an elite triple jumper jumps so many meters. Okay,
Hmm.
let's just pick 15 because you said 15.
Hmm.
But at the time you write it that, maybe you're at 12. Like,
Yeah.
I'm jumping here and 15 is over there, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so you break it up into chunks. I'm at 12.
Hmm.
Let me see if by the end of by 6 months I can get to 12.6, and then I can get to 12.7, and 12.9.
Yeah.
And one day you do good and you surprise yourself and you leapfrog from 12.9 to 13.2, or something.
Hmm.
So I like the way that you broke that down. It's very practical that somebody can take that. And I would also say that, yeah, we're talking about sports and we're talking about triple jump, but but it's the same principle and the same, not even a principle, it's the same method and tactics that would apply for anything in life. You want to have $1 million in your account and you only have $10. So you say, wow, okay, let me see if I can get to 100, you know?
Yes.
Um, Let me see if I can get to 1,000. And you get to 1,000, you're like, okay, maybe 10,000 is within grasp. Then you just grow it slowly and slowly. And
Yeah.
then maybe when you're at 5,000, something happens and you have to spend it, so you start back at zero. But you
Yes.
don't give up. And you keep striving and you keep. And then you spoke about diet.
Hmm.
You spoke about socializing and
Hmm.
alcohol and all of those things.
Hmm.
So what I'm getting from you is that to be to be good, there is sacrifice and there's perseverance. To be
Yes.
elite, there has to be a take no prisoners approach. You
Yeah.
have to look at every little thing and make sure that you're doing the best you can on every little thing.
Yes.
Am I interpreting that correct?
Absolutely. My motto for this season was leave no stone unturned.
Leave no
That was
stone
the motto.
unturned.
And
Yeah.
every time I wanted to do something or I wanted to break away from, you know, the course I was on, I would just tell that to myself. I'm like, we are planning for success. Leave no stone unturned.
Leave no stone unturned. All
Yeah.
right. And so while we're here celebrating you at 1490, you're like, shit, I wanted that extra 10.
Oh,
So
oh, oh, yes.
so let's talk about high achieving as well. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And being your own, what do you say, hardest
Oh,
critic,
yeah.
is that what it is?
Hmm.
So how hard are you when it comes to that?
Um, I'm pretty hard on myself. So much so that, you know, I'm grateful for Aaron because Aaron actually reminds me of how far I've come very often.
Mm,
If you look at my reaction after the 1490, um, Aaron asked me why I wasn't happy after that jump. And I told him because it's not what I wanted. And he's like, the it's your farthest jump ever. It's amazing. You know, last year 1490 would have gotten me a silver medal at Worlds. And so he's
Wow.
like, how are you not, happy with this? And I'm like, the board says fifth. Like, and in that moment, I bumped into third, but I knew that wasn't going to be safe there. I knew the only safe
Mm.
number would start with a 15. Um, and I think that proves how hard I am on myself. It's one of those things where when you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you still land amongst the stars. And that's what it is. It's like, if I'm aiming for that moon, that big goal, and I miss, I'm still amongst one of the greats in my event. If I'm aiming for 15 and I don't get that, but I'm close to it, I'll still will go down as one of the best jumpers in history. And I have done that, and that's amazing. But it's also difficult for me sometimes when I set out for a goal and when I sacrifice for a goal to not attain it when I want it. Now, that doesn't mean that, I still have three more meets. I compete tomorrow.
Wow.
I still have three more meets, in my season, plus Pan Ams. And that's multiple opportunities to jump far. But if I jump 15 there, would I be happy? Yes. If I had jumped 15 at Worlds, would I have been happier? Absolutely. And so, but I think that being my worst critic has also played a major hand in my success. I think I never really allow myself to get too comfortable. And I'm always looking for a way to improve myself. And I think the largest testimony to this is the fact that like I've jumped farther every year for the last 6 years. And that's not very common in our sport. Very often athletes plateau. They might shoot up and then shoot back down. But there has been a steady growth pattern. And I believe I'm one of the only jumpers to be able to claim that have PB'd personal best every year.
Wow.
Um, and I think that, being my worst critic, yes, sometimes I can get down in the dumps for sure. But like I said, I'm grateful that I have this team behind me that can quickly like take me out of that and show me all the good that I have accomplished. But that critical mind and that critical self attribute is definitely one of the main reasons where I'm able to get up and dust myself off, because it's like I got more to accomplish. Like I need to do better. I want to do better. I have goals to accomplish. I've hit those smaller pinnacles on the way to 15. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And first it's 15, and now I'm at 1490. Like, oh, now it's like 1515 or 1520. Like as I'm moving, so is that goal line, because now I can
That's
see
what I
how
was,
much more
that's
I
what I was
can.
going to ask you
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
Because now that you're at 1490, I'm pretty sure your goal is no longer 15.
It's not. It's not. Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, so self-criticism is definitely, I think, can be a benefit, but also kind of, sometimes a hindrance if you're not doing it in a healthy way. Um, but it definitely is I think a good attribute to be able to take criticism not only from others like your coach, but from yourself, and realize that um, the only reason why you're probably self-critiquing is because you care. It's easy
Right.
to just do something and brush it off and be like, oh, well, like I tried. But to be able to sit down, look back, and plan to be better in the future is something that is important if you're actually trying to get better in your sport and if you actually care about achieving your goals.
Yeah. So you have a team,
I have a team.
and your team helps you to stay on your goal, and your team helps you to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Hmm.
what counts is you and yourself, right?
Yes.
You and your mind, and how
Hmm.
you respond to what you achieve. And so when when you say that you're your worst critic and you still continue to strive, even though you are accomplishing, I guess it's also important the way in which you do it. Because
Yeah.
there's a way where you can criticize yourself and just
Hmm.
bring a negative energy in yourself
Yeah.
because I'm
Hmm.
not good enough, look at these other
Hmm.
people what they do and I don't do it,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. Or you can be, well, next time.
Absolutely.
I'm so upset I didn't get them, but that's
Yeah.
like it's extra motivating for next time. And so For the young athlete that's listening to you, and you're their inspiration and their role model, um, that is kind of like the message. It's like, yeah, strive for it, um, go hard for it,
Yeah.
but also don't use a little shortfall to bring yourself down.
No, not at all. I think,
Right.
it's one thing, like I said, it's one thing to criticize yourself, but you've got to also be careful of how you're speaking to yourself. You will listen to
Right.
the voice that you speak to the most, and so I part of my team is a sports therapist, sports psychologist. And one
Hmm.
of the things she was very, very strict about was how I spoke to myself. She's like,
Oh,
it
wow.
can never be, I'm terrible, or I was stupid for that, or I suck at this. She's like, no, it's like, hey, I can do this better and I have the tools to do it better. So I will do it better. And she told me that you can't passively speak negatively to yourself because your subconscious will pick up on it and hold on to it. And I didn't even realize how quickly I used to just dismiss something. Oh, that was dumb. That was stupid. Like, what was I thinking? And then I was like, wait a minute. Like, if that's how I'm passively talking to myself, then that's how I'm passively thinking about my actions too and reflecting on myself. And so I had to cut that.
Right.
And I think as a young athlete, um, with just so much room for growth, I think it's very important that you're not saying that you just suck at something or you're terrible at something. It's just like, hey, I haven't figured it out yet. And part of achieving your goals is realizing, like, hey, I figured out one part. Now I've got to figure out this other part to achieve that other part
Right.
of my goal.
Hmm. Hmm.
And and that's just what it is. It's just putting together pieces until, it just comes together. And that's all. That's all. Especially for a young
Okay.
athlete. Enjoy it. Have fun. Track and field is fun. I would not be doing this if it wasn't fun. Um, and I think that's the biggest part. Go out there, have a good time, believe in yourself, and come as an open book, ready to receive.
Awesome. I'm so happy I asked you that question because you delivered it to the audience in such an inspiring way, an instructive way, because as you say, watch how you talk to yourself. Some of
Yeah.
us speak to ourselves in a manner that we wouldn't talk to anybody else that way,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't
Mhm.
allow somebody to talk to somebody else
Mhm.
that way. Like if we're standing somewhere and this person is talking to this other person and saying, "Oh, you're so stupid," or "You're so this, you're so that,"
Mhm.
we want to stop that person.
Yeah.
So why would we say it to ourselves? Um, and when you put it, I listen to you saying that. I,
Yeah.
it brings it back. And as I said, we're talking sports,
Mhm.
but this applies to every aspect of our
Everywhere.
life.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was academic,
Mhm.
and I would get 98 on a test,
Mm.
and I would be stressing over that one question that I didn't get full marks on, and stressing and stressing and stressing. Is like, you know, but you realize you got that one question wrong. Just learn what the answer
Yeah.
is, so you never get that question wrong again.
Yeah.
Or that particular topic, maybe you had a blind spot. Go take care of it,
Mhm.
so there's no more blind spots in that area. And
Exactly.
so this conversation is for everybody who are looking to grow. If you have
Mm.
kids who are in school, if you have kids who are in sports, it doesn't mean that you have to baby them and kiss every time they get a bruise, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you have to support them. You have to support them. So,
Absolutely.
so, so Thea, I am at the bottom of the hour. We're going to take a quick break. I'm really enjoying this conversation. Folks, if you joined us after we start, my guest tonight is the exciting Miss Thea Lafond-Gadson. She is a triple jumper from Dominica. She has qualified to represent Dominica in the 2024 Olympics. And for that, all Dominicans have put up one big cheer. And we're continuing to cheer and to watch her go and to wish her the best of health. So she's my guest tonight on this weekend interview. And we're just talking about her accomplishments and what it takes to achieve those accomplishments.
Mm.
We have to take a quick break right now. Stay, don't go anywhere. Now
Yeah.
that you know how exciting the conversation is, invite 5 people to join us. Text them, send them the link, ask them to join us. And when we come back, we will continue our conversation with Miss Thea Lafond-Gadson. We'll be right back.
Presented by.
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
If you live in Canada, the US, and the UK and are looking for Dominica products including cocoa sticks, bay rum, coffee, soaps, crafts, and other popular Dominica items, then look no further. You can now shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, a secure, easy-to-navigate website selling a wide variety of Dominica-made and Dominica-inspired products. When you shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, you are helping to grow Dominica's economy. Go to BuyDominicaOnline.com and enjoy home away from home.
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com. or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
Thank you for staying with us through the break. And thank you to our sponsors. We really appreciate the support. For those of you who joined a little late, my guest tonight on this weekend interview is Miss Thea Lafond-Gadson. And she is our superstar triple jumper, soon to be Olympian. She already qualified for the 2024 Olympic in triple jump. So now she has that in her back pocket. That pressure is off. So now she's going to be preparing and going to the Olympics like a boss, as we say. What else? At the start of the show, I didn't say a proper good night to folks in Dominica who may be listening to us on RVR Jams on DigiPlay channel 59. Good night to you. I know you're super proud, and for Dominicans everywhere, no matter where you're listening to us. Thea has been competing. She said she's been competing since she was 16. She competed at the Carifta Games, at the Commonwealth Games. Thea, are you based in the US?
I am based in the US. Yes, I am based in Maryland.
Do you compete in any of the US meets and so on?
When they do host professional meets, yes, I do. But to be honest, I would prefer to compete in the Caribbean or Europe. The crowds are better, the energy's better, and the money's better.
That's important, right?
Yeah.
That's certainly important. So what does your next few months look like? What events do you have that you're preparing for?
Well, it's quite busy. A lot of people thought I would wind down after Worlds, but it's actually kind of just picking up. I am currently in Zurich, Switzerland. I will be competing tomorrow at the Zurich Diamond League games. I will meet. From there, I'll be going to Rovereto, Italy, where I'll compete there. And from Italy, I will go to Brussels, where I'll compete in another Diamond League. I'll then get to go back stateside and recoup, do some laundry, and adjust to a different time zone. But Diamond League final is in Eugene, Oregon this year, so I'll be heading over to do that at around September 16th, 17th. And then I get a little downtime, but we're still going to keep up the training because we have the Pan Am Games, which is in Chile this year, and it is in mid-October to November, I believe. So it's a bit of a late season, but it's okay. And when I'm done, I'll be looking forward to soaking in a nice thermal bath in Dominica for sure, a nice sulfur bath, and get ready for Paris next year.
And get ready for Paris next year.
Yes,
Summer Olympics 2024.
sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds really good. And shows ago, as I said, I interviewed Cedric Harris,
Mm,
and he was one of the first Dominicans to represent us at the Olympics.
mm,
And even all these years later, I think it was I want to say 88 games or something like that, 1988 games. Even all these years later, when he talks about the Olympics, he still glows, and you can see that that stays with you for a lifetime.
it does.
It does. Yeah. And so when we first started this conversation,
Mhm.
you spoke about waving the Dominica flag
Yeah,
from the podium,
yeah.
from a medal position.
Mhm.
So how much of that is involved in keeping you motivated and keeping you striving and achieving that national, that ability and that capacity, the opportunity to represent Dominica on the biggest stage in the world and to see our beautiful flag. And you're the one that caused it to happen. How does that play into your psyche as you prepare and you train? You know?
I will say one massive shout out to my parents because even though I was raised and based in the States, they always instilled an extreme level of pride for my home country and homeland. And I think that never wavered, growing up. And there was always this level of determination to make sure, that Dominica was shown to the world and that it was shown in a very positive light. I will forever speak highly of my country, and I feel like one of the highest forms of praise is a flag on a podium. It shows how much work and how diligent we are. It shows that we are producing greatness. It shows that we have a country that is supporting, athletes and people at a high level. And I continuously say that Dominica to me is a gem, and it truly is this small island in the Caribbean that produces so much greatness, amazing architects, amazing musicians, amazing doctors. And I was raised around all these people, all these history makers, and I viewed my position in athletics for Team Dominica as an ability to also be a history maker. And I take that very personally and I take that very seriously. And so to my end goal, my true joys of life at whether it's the Commonwealth Games, whether it's the NACAC championships, is to be able to have that flag waving because the world needs to see how great Dominica is. And that is a huge driving force. That is. I want the world to see us in a positive light, in a successful light, in a beautiful light. And I want all the Dominicans everywhere in the world, not just on island, to have, a little boost of pride, to feel nice, to have a little bragging right. It feels good. It feels good. And I want that for my people. I want that for myself. And I want the world to be able to witness that as well.
Yes, and as a Dominican, and even like a Caribbean person,
Mhm.
we embody that and we embrace that and we appreciate that very much, you know, because it is obvious that you were exposed to opportunities to
Mhm.
represent somebody else
Mhm.
or a different place, and
Mhm.
probably with much higher, more lucrative rewards
Mhm.
to your person if you did that. And so the fact that you chose Dominica, um, I want to say on principle, but also just because of the love that you have for the country, it
Mhm.
speaks volumes to the character that you have, and of course, shout out to your parents, as you said, for infusing you with that.
Yes.
Even you're out of Dominica, but they still managed to
Mhm.
infuse that into you. It's similar to like when I go to some Dominican events. There's this group in New Jersey called Know Your Culture,
Mm.
and they put on cultural dances and all the different things that we enjoy at our national time.
Mhm.
And you have kids dancing Dominican traditional dances and wearing Dominican national wear, and they do it better. You know? to I don't know if it's because like if you grow up with something organic, you take part of it for granted, so you don't,
Yeah.
you know, and maybe you don't go to school to learn it. But she has this group that actually schools them,
Nice.
um, and you would never know that these kids didn't just come up on a plane from Dominica yesterday and they put in a performance. And so
Beautiful.
what it does, it did a couple of things. One, it gives them a grounding to their home and
Yes.
all the culture and all that. But it
Yes.
also gives people like me the opportunity to pretend like I'm home for an
Ah,
afternoon when I go watch them perform.
yeah.
And so I just want to tell you that that is what you're doing for all of us.
Thank
When
you.
we look at you on those international stages, and we look at your level of professionalism, and we look at your accomplishments, it really makes us warm, and proud to say, yeah, I know that flag, and there's a typical Dominican lady. Here's a typical Dominican lady. That's what Dominicans are: high achieving, driving,
Yes.
and disciplined, and
Mhm.
fun. All of those things. We
Yes.
we see that when you compete. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And so as we close our conversation, I just want to let you know that all of us collectively um, wish you well. I know you're doing it and you doing it, and we're proud of you doing it. But even on a personal level, as you continue to accomplish, we want to wish you absolutely all the best. And as an athlete, health is most important. So keep all those possible things that can slow you down. Not stop, because you're unstoppable, but slow you down, distract you. And we want to keep them away and tell you
Thank you.
the path is clear, go for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. You made me just tear up a little bit. Um, but it really is an honor. And I know I keep saying it, but it is. I am grateful. I am so proud. And it makes me happy knowing that I can make my country proud. It really does just fill my heart with joy. So thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. And thank you for just always believing in me.
Yeah, we do. And you know that you can make us proud. You've already made us proud. And
Thank
you continue to make us proud. And so for all of the young athletes, I see we have a couple cyclists. This
yeah,
young guy that
very
is
bright,
just
brilliant cyclist.
kill,
Yes.
killing it on the world stage.
Yes.
I see we have some cricketers who are making it to the
Mm-hmm.
West Indies team and competing on the world stage.
Yes.
We have a few athletes as well, track and field. I say athletes, track and field, that are also striving. And
Mm.
and I just want you to know that I'm pretty sure that you are an inspiration to them, because you show them what's possible. So thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
All right. And so I'm going to let you go because you must have a busy schedule. I so appreciated you taking the time to have this conversation with me. I look forward, if your schedule permits it, I look forward to having you back right before the Olympics.
I would love that.
And certainly after the Olympics for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we need to have a good debrief after the Olympics for sure.
Yes, no, certainly. So congratulations on your accomplishments and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a
All right,
wonderful
you're very
evening.
welcome. Yeah, you too. Have a good night. Thanks. So, folks, there you had it. We love to see what young people accomplish. We like to see our young people strive. We like to see them accomplish. We like to see them demonstrate the grit and the perseverance and the smarts too. The smarts, because you have to be smart. Um, so I took them some keywords um, as I was talking to Thea. She talked about hard work. She talked about discipline. She talked about your diet. She talked about training on the track in the weight room. She appreciated the team that is behind her, both her technical team, her coach, her sports psychologist, and everybody, her husband, who is also her coach. But she also spoke about her parents and her best friend and her best friend's parents. So, she spoke about striving to be an elite athlete. And when you get knocked down, you stand back up, you brush off the sand, because that's what she jumps into, and you do it again. And so I think we've had a clear demonstration of a wonderful and beautiful young lady, so pleasant and obviously so hard driving. And I had an absolute great time having a conversation with her. I know Dorian and Ernestine should are super proud, and you deserve it. You deserve it. Um, Having raised such a gem of a young lady, and so folks, there you have it. Another wonderful conversation that I had the pleasure to have in this position as the host of this weekend interview, and I really enjoy sharing it with you. And we do this again next week, Wednesday. In the meantime, stay safe. There's some of you who are in Florida and some of the other areas that are in the path of incoming inclement weather. So take your precaution, be vigilant. I hope it's not too serious. Um, and those of you in Dominica and in the rest of the Caribbean, I wish you a wonderful rest of the week. If you're in New York, as I am, this weekend is Labor Day weekend, so there's a lot of activities going on. Enjoy, have fun, stay safe. And anyone, if you're celebrating your birthday, your anniversary, any one of those events, we want to say a very special, you know, congratulations to you. I know some folks graduated recently. There was this big nursing graduation in Chicago. There are other graduations going on. Congratulations to you on those accomplishments as well. If you're from Dominica, um, yesterday was August 29th. It is the anniversary of Hurricane David, 1979 Hurricane David devastated Dominica on August 29th. And so there was the anniversary of that. And just to remind us that we are still in the midst of the hurricane season. Stay vigilant, be prepared, and just make sure your family knows what your plans are in case of a catastrophic event. And folks, I'm going to leave it there. I want to say good night again and tell you to enjoy the weekend, whatever that's on tap for you. Come back next week.